time it is. Marvin Devine, Huber, Axel, and you know how we do. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing. Like 22. Ask me how I made it right here in the booth. I'm always pursued cause of what I pursue. That's greatness, yeah, I gotta make it, I got things to lose. Boy, wanna get in my crew, but you can't get in my crew. Me, Axel, and Huber, way too fireable. When this joint drop, better call the troops. And when you hear the drop, better raise the roof. Better raise the roof. You already know what happens when we link up. Let's go. Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice. Whip game cool, make them look like cool. Always play it cool, that's the biggest rule. Forget what they doing, keep on doing.
All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Locked In Podcast, your personal hub for personal development tips, sports news, music, and much, much more. We're back with episode 144 of the podcast, and I want to welcome in Frank. I should have asked you how to pronounce your last name before actually hitting this live stream here, but you can welcome in Frank. Frank, how do you pronounce your last name?
Veneziale.
Veneziale. Okay. I thought so, but I didn't want to butcher it. So I figured I'd ask you.
All good, man. I've got Venezuela, everything, man. So all good.
Welcome in, man. I appreciate you joining. And for those of you who don't know, Frank is a fitness coach. Frank's going to kind of break down his story, kind of how he got into the fitness industry. And we got some other really, really exciting content surrounding fitness as well. And then, at the end, we're both 444 Philly guys. So we'll try to, touch on some Birds talk and some Phils talk too, with Red October kind of looming next week. Phillies in the playoffs now, obviously some good stuff there. But Frank, I do want to, thank you for taking the time to come on. First time guest of the podcast.
Yeah, real fast, man. That intro, I'm new to the content game. That was legit, man. You got to teach me how to get some of those videos and stuff together,
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm blessed to honestly have a friend that has a drone and stuff like that. So, they showed me some cool footage and I was like, do you care if we use it for the podcast? I honestly wanted to shout them out the first time we ever did that video. And they're modest. They're like, nah, it's all right. It's all right. Like behind the scenes, they just wanted to kind of do it to help out. So, yeah, man, all drone footage, the city and everything like that. But, yeah, I use video editing tools to kind of put different, frames together. But absolutely, man, we're here to help each other out. So, yeah, man, I'd have no problem, trying to help you and show you.
Yeah, I didn't know how to make a reel up until April, legitimately on Instagram. My first reel was in April, so I'm new to all this, man.
Nice, man. Well, it seems like you progressed a lot, man. I see you got in your reels and stuff. I always see you got the the subtitles and stuff like that. You have you got pop-ups kind of coming in, transitioning in. So you're obviously doing something right, man.
I'm trying. It felt like a dinosaur at first. I'm trying though, man.
That's all we can do, man. We start from somewhere and then we just try to progress. So, as we learn new things and just add them.
Yeah, man.
For sure. Yeah, so welcome in. Thank you for being here. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, you're not already subscribed, as I always say, hit that subscribe button and, turn notifications on, hit that notification bell to turn them on because we release content surrounding either personal development or sports every single week. You don't want to miss it. If you're watching on Facebook, I'm assuming you're already part of the Locked In Podcast Facebook group, but, hit the like button, comment down below. It helps us out. Yeah, comment in if you're on YouTube too. We will respond to you. We can put your comments here up on the screen as well. So it's good that we can kind of do that. And yeah, with that being said, guys, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the content. George is down below. Try to see if I can add him in. George.
What's up?
What's going on, buddy? How are you, man? On your way into work, huh?
Yeah, just smoking, driving, watching the road, watching the show. Very dangerous. Don't do this at home, kids. Yeah, I guess I was on mute for a little bit, but I was just saying the same thing you just said. Like, StreamYard has a kind of cool option where you could get viewers and you see your viewers as they are commenting, so it's like live. It's pretty awesome, actually. And welcome in, Frank, of course.
Thank you, man.
I've been on for about 2 minutes already, like on the thing. I guess I was backstage, but yeah,
Yeah, I saw you back there. Just was gonna wrap
reach
up
the river, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So Frank, I won't even hold up anybody's time. Obviously people kind of just like to jump into the juicy part of the podcast, man, where we actually get into the content. So I'll start off by asking you, man. So your story, what kind of led you to kind of get into the fitness industry? You're a fitness coach now. I always see you have really good content on your stories, on your Facebook, and now I just added you on Instagram today, and obviously you got good stuff on there too. What kind of got you into the fitness game, man?
Well, I appreciate the kind words, first off. And if I start rambling, cut me off at any point. Feel free.
Absolutely.
But I was the skinny kid in grade school. You know what I mean? My lunch was, I said this before in one of my posts, but it was goldfish and Mountain Dew Code Red. Mountain Dew Code Red was my shit. You know what I mean? I got like a weightlifting bench and literally a barbell, like in 8th grade. And my parents were nice enough to let me take up most of the basement with that stuff. So I've been working out since literally 8th grade. Got to high school, and I just became obsessed with getting big. I played ice hockey, so that kind of offset my terrible diet. Anything I can get my hands on. I bought the dumbest supplements. We were talking about this a little before we jumped on, but weight gainer. I don't know if you ever took weight gainer before. You ever take weight gainer?
Yeah, I never have. I have a close friend that took, like weight gainer, mass gainer. Yeah,
all that garbage. Mix it with some whole milk, man. Like fries. So that was my goal. Like literally just get as big as possible. I wasn't even training for ice hockey, and I loved ice hockey. It was just get big, get big, get big. I got to college. I stopped playing ice hockey. And that's when it was like, I'm working out 5-6 days a week and I look like shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is going on here? So then I discovered the whole diet stuff and nutrition. But there's so much bullshit out there. Like I was eating like brown rice, like healthy pasta and stuff like that. Bananas. A lot of people think like a banana is very healthy. It depends what your goals are. You know what I mean? But like if I was trying to cut, I'm not eating bananas and apples and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I literally I graduated college, got the diet under my belt a little bit, but I heard I don't know if you'd ever heard of Ben Greenfield.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
So he's like the OG hacker, man. And he was on Rogan's pod a couple times. And that was like a mind blowing episode. And like, he kind of introduced me to the whole, like the real stuff behind the scenes, man. You know what I mean? And I just became obsessed, and it's tough to make a career out of that. And then you dive into coaching, you put yourself out there, and here I am. You know what I mean? I was doing all this stuff behind the scenes for literally years, like some people think I'm crazy. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. doing cold plunges and stuff, I'm just posting that stuff now. But I've been doing that forever, like red light therapy and stuff. But yeah, I started at every level, man. I was a hard gainer. I couldn't put on any muscle. I was the weak kid, ate nothing. I couldn't even eat peanut butter and jelly when I was little. I was so picky. Then I was at the other end of the scale where I'm working out 5 days a week and I'm chubby and I'm uncomfortable how I look, with a shirt off, despite all the work I'm putting in. And I've really come all the way full circle to like diet, man. Diet is everything.
It's critical.
So that's kind of my behind the scenes, my story I wanted to tell before we started,
Yeah, man. No, some great stuff, man. Yeah, they say that diet is like 85% of the way. Like you can train all you want, but you can't out train a bad diet. No matter how much work you put in. If you're going and you're eating more calories, say you go home, you burn 1,000, 2,000 calories, and you go home and you eat more calories than you're burning. It does not matter. Or even if you're eating what you're burning, you're literally just staying the same. If your goal is to lose weight, you have to You have to keep your diet in check. And I feel like for most people, that's something I honestly, I try to, because like the working out part for me is relatively like, that's easy. I have no issue getting to the gym. I actually really like working out. So, but it's more so like the diet stuff. I feel like that's what stumps up most people too, because that's like, it's the more like you have to be really disciplined, like with your diet. It's tough. Especially if you're surrounding yourself, like I think the best thing you can do is just eliminate all the bullshit from the household. Don't even have it in like out of sight, out of mind. Don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry, because that's when you usually buy a bunch of bullshit. There's a lot of hacks to it, but diet is critical.
Yeah, the out of sight, out of mind is number one, man. Like, we don't have bullshit stuff here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have it in the house, you're going to eat it. Because I'm an
Yeah.
overeater. You know what I mean? Like, we have clean stuff in the house. I do my clean dessert reviews on the weekends.
Yeah.
But I overeat the shit out of that, man. And I'll feel like shit the next day just overeating. You know what I mean? Even good stuff. So if I was eating pizza and cheesesteaks all night, like 10x that, you know?
Yeah.
Alcohol's a big one, too. That kind of snowballs for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you a big drinker, Steve?
So yeah, now and like at 30, honestly, I'm not. And I'm honestly someone that if I had to like give up alcohol, I could literally do it. Like to me, like alcohol, like I'm blessed that I don't have like that type of like I don't get withdrawal from alcohol at all. I know a lot of people that can't go a weekend without drinking. Like last weekend, didn't drink at all. I don't drink during the week at all. Maybe unless it's like a if say there's an Eagles game on and somebody wants to like watch a game or something like that, you can have like a Michelob, or two, just something light and not something heavy, and chase it with water. I think a lot of people don't know that too. Stay hydrated. For every beer you drink, try to chase it with water. Try to stay hydrated. But yeah, no, I could literally give up alcohol and be completely fine for me.
Well, a lot of drinkers come to me. You know what I mean? They want to lose weight and stuff. I'll recommend some like Tito's. Tequila's actually the lowest calorie. And bring some like electrolyte pack. Like if you order like a Tito's and Club at the bar or something, they sell electrolyte packets, man. Who cares what you look like, dude? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It tastes delicious. Throw it in the drink. You're not going to be as hungover the next day. But if you're drinking 15, 20 beers a weekend, like I'm sure like we grew up drinking, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be really tough to lose weight, and it just snowballs. You eat like shit. Like in high school, we would drink it down in Mayfair, and we'd end up at the Philly Pretzel Factory getting cheesesteak pretzels. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine what I would do, what my body would feel like if I had one of them today at midnight after drinking all night.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's the thing. Like, I like that you said the electrolyte powder thing. So when my buddy got married in July, and we were down in New Orleans, and we were for his bachelor party. So obviously we were drinking a lot down there. It was the most I drank in a while. But we were living on those liquid IVs. We were having like those little liquid IV electrolyte powder things. I forget what the brand is. I actually bought like a box, because I'm like, you know what? They were so helpful. Like the next day, when you're trying to wake up, like those liquid IVs. We got
to get you some cleaner electrolytes, by the way. I got some brands.
All right, yeah, man, absolutely. I'm all for it.
Yeah, LMNT is my go-to, and Relight. Both are very good electrolyte brands. Minimum ingredients. Stevia, I think, is the sweetener. Stevia is my go-to natural sweetener. So if you ever see that ingredients, thumbs up, Stevia.
Yeah, I like using Stevia too. I like now if I like go out somewhere, like you can go to like even if you get your coffee at Wawa now, they have the stevia packets. So it's like, So it's you have options. I think stevia is becoming a little bit more mainstream. Before it was only like Splenda that they had. Now you're starting to see stevia in more spots as well. Even I think Dunkin' Donuts too. If you get like a black coffee, you can add like stevia to it, because they have stevia as an option now.
Yeah, real fast, just to touch on that though, I'll get a little deeper on you. It's the stevia packets. Be careful. If I had a client gain 5 pounds in a week just adding stevia in his coffee, some artificial sweeteners affect everyone differently. And some of them have like maltodextrose in the ingredients as well. It's not straight stevia. So that could impact your blood glucose levels. The stevia droplets are usually very good, and they have flavors. They're droppers. It's not powder, so it's like little droplets. And they're straight stevia. That's the way to go.
Okay, that's a good tip. Yeah, I honestly never knew that. I know everybody's body's different, but I never knew that, man. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I'm trying to teach out here, man.
Exactly. That's the important part of it, man. Guys, take notes. Take notes. You got some good free value right here. And that's the value you see. Like, that's good though, for your business too. Like, you add free value, and then people will be like, oh, like this guy knows what you're talking about. And then when they start to get that free value, that makes people want to like buy into the services and stuff. Me and my one buddy, different industries. He's like in finance, like kind of like what I want to do, like help people financially build a business. But he offers a lot of free value, a lot of free cheat sheets, a lot of free content for people to help like build their finances. But because of that, it draws people into his services because of that. Because, people are like, if this guy can give great free value, what can this guy give for, purchase, advice?
I'm assuming you know who Alex Hormozi is?
Yeah, and you know what, dude? I absolutely love that you just brought that up. He's a big Alex Hormozi guy too. So we have a Telegram group, and he is always dropping like knowledge from his books. The $100 million offer, $100 million leads. Man, always great stuff.
Yeah, and that's his main thing. He's like, give away more stuff for free than people do when they than people sell. You know what I mean? Give away more for free than what other people sell.
Absolutely. And that guy that just comment right there, my boy Bryce down there, Gems, this is the guy I'm talking about. Always dropping some good Alex Hormozi stuff. So it's my boy Bryce down there. He said Gems. Absolutely, man. Thanks for tuning in.
Love that.
Yeah, man. See, dude, like-minded individuals, man. See, like, it's funny. It's like you bring up that name. I knew right away.
There we go, man. It's crazy. I'm in the fitness thing, but they all weave together, man,
Exactly. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in finance for $100 million. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be in a certain category. It's just, it all exactly like you said, weaves together. Perfect, man. I freaking love it. So, man, I know you had some other, I know I love the story, man. Love how you kind of, got into it and everything. I know we were talking about supplements too at the beginning too, right now I'm drinking EAAs, but like we were saying, like, I think a lot of people when they're starting out, they think they got to kind of, like you were saying, like break the bank on supplements, different things. My boy was with masking, or like when we were like in our early 20s taking it and stuff like that. It's like a lot of that stuff is not necessary. You literally have a solid diet where you're gonna like everybody's body's obviously different, but there's a lot of junk out there too.
Yeah, if you're really serious about if you want to gain weight or lose weight, I recommend all my clients simply track your food for 1 to 2 weeks. See how many calories you're eating. If you want to lose weight, get in a slight deficit. If you want to gain weight, you're going to have to eat and get in a calorie surplus. But it's not calories in, calories out. I'm strictly like not really for that. Every food impacts you differently. You know what I mean? Like 1,000 calories from some gummy bears is going to impact my body differently than 1,000 calories from red meat. So that's definitely a big thing. Fasting is one thing I want to talk about because it's very controversial. Do you ever intermittent fast?
Yeah, but you know what, man? I really kind of don't plan it if I'm being quite honest, man. Some days, I wake up, man, I'm not like super hungry, and like I had maybe not have eaten since like 8 o'clock the night before, and I'll go to like 12 noon or whatever. But it's not like planned if I'm being quite honest. Like it's just, but
are you a late night eater?
No, I used to be. So I'm trying to be a lot better with that and really not eat late because, you notice like when you get to bed, you wake up the next day and you feel your body just feels like shit if you eat the later you eat at night. You know what I mean? You just realize, especially the older you get, your body just feels like absolute shit, especially if you're waking up early. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I used to have a bowl of oatmeal every single night before just for gains and looking back, you know what I mean? Like just stupid stuff. But did you ever hear of like the Whoop, the strap on your arm or anything like that?
Yeah. One of the YouTubers I follow is a big proponent of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, fun fact, wears a one on his arm. They did a whole article on it last year. That was pretty interesting. But this is my wedding ring. It's an Oura ring. It tracks the same stuff. So it's like HRV, resting heart rate, sleep, and everything like that. I can have the same amount of food, same foods, but if I time it differently, like on the weekends, I'm going to eat later at night, Friday and Saturday nights. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? We'll have a clean dessert or whatever. Glass of wine, by the way. That's my choice of alcohol. I know. Pretty gay, but that's what I've moved to now. You know what I mean?
No judgment.
But yeah, like my numbers will be so much different just eating late at night. And the weird thing is you wake, like when you're eating shitty, you're going to be hungrier. You get more cravings throughout the day. If I eat something shittier at night, I'm going to be, even though I just ate, say at 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'm hungrier than in the morning than I would be if I stopped eating at 5 p.m. just because of what food I ate. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the timing is crazy. Even if you're eating the same amount of food, the timing of your food is crazy. And obviously what type of food you're eating is going to dictate cravings, etc. I preach all my clients, break your fast with a protein first. There's nothing wrong with carbs at breakfast, but your body's going to digest those carbs better after a protein. That goes with every meal, but specifically after breaking a fast. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I always try to that's one thing I'm better with too. I try to always have eggs as like my first meal because it adds a protein right there. You know what I mean? I just try to do some type of egg in some type of form. You know what I mean? Like to kind of break that. But yeah, I'm definitely getting better with not eating late at night because I'll tell you what, like and I'm sure this also makes sense because your body's also you're not active once you go to sleep. I mean, you still burn calories, but you're not like moving around like throughout the day. So you eat before you go to bed, you're going to go to bed with all like if you eat a huge meal before you go to sleep, there's literally you're just burning the only calories you're burning is when you're sleeping. You're not burning any type of like as if you ate a big meal to start the day. But either way, it still does matter what goes into your body because your body, like you said, that's perfect. Your body's going to react different to the food you eat. Like you said, if you eat 1,000 calories worth of gummy bears or 1,000 calories worth of chicken, red meat, like it's going to be different. Of how
Yeah,
you're gonna
man.
feel.
I wear a continuous blood glucose monitor too. The insurance companies only pay for it if you're diabetic. So if you're a perfectly healthy person, you have to pay out of pocket,
Right.
which is just the country we live in. It's pretty insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the same thing. Like my blood glucose, just eating later at night or a shitty meal, the next day is literally impacted. It's up way higher than would it be after eating a healthy day. You know what I mean? Eating the same amount of foods the next day, but after a shitty day of eating, my glucose levels are up, and that dictates everything, man. It causes inflammation. Inflammation is one of the leading causes of all major disease out there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I got into this for like just gains, and now I'm talking about like inflammation and trying to live out here to 100 years old. You know?
Yeah, man, you drop a lot of gems. I see. Like, I know you're a big proponent on ingredients, man, and I always see, your post. You always got, you'll break down like it's kind of like a eat this, not that type of thing. Sometimes I'll see in your post, which is, it's great, man. I literally like use like those tips. It's because there's some things like I know some things, but I don't know everything. You know what I mean? None of us do. We're just learning, but yeah, you always got some gems that you're dropping, man. I love it.
I appreciate that. If you pick up something and it's got the Bible in the ingredients, man, it's probably not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
man.
you see these foods and the list is insane. You're like, do you need to shove all this shit into this little packaged food? You know what I mean?
I know, man. It's crazy. Even if something looks like it could have no sugar, no like low calories, like but you know what I mean? Like if it still has a ton of ingredients, you really like half the ingredients we can't pronounce. You know what I mean? It's stuff
Yeah.
like what is that? You know what I mean?
The oils are the big ones, though, like the canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil. Those are the major ones, man. Supposedly they stay in your body for like 2-3 years. Like I'll literally tell my clients, like, I won't even cheat with those meals. Like I'd rather a piece of cake. Like Ben Greenfield said this. He's like, I'd rather have a piece of cake than French fries soaked in sunflower oil because I can work off that piece of cake. You know what I mean? I can't work off what that sunflower oil is doing to my body, man. It affects your cells, everything.
Wow. Yeah. I see that too, man. The oils and stuff. I see. I think you had a list the other day. It was like the bad oils, and then it had like it was going up from like green to red, and then like the red were like the really bad ones, and then the green ones being like coconut oil, things of that nature, and then they have ones that are kind of in the middle, like olive oil.
Yeah,
And stuff
yeah.
like
That was touching on the smoke points, which is very good to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because olive oil, like very extra virgin olive oil, is very healthy. If you keep that in a pan and burn it for 10, 15 minutes before you put a piece of meat in it, you're fucking that oil up. You know what I mean? You're oxidized, So that was just be careful of your smoke points when you're cooking.
Exactly. Yeah. And I to be honest, I never knew that. So you know what I mean? You pick things up, but even my one buddy just wrote down. He said golden milk is good for inflammation.
Golden milk.
Golden milk.
Never heard of that.
Before. Yeah, never heard of that. Have to check it out. Golden milk.
I'm a raw milk guy myself. You could find raw milk out there. Have you ever tried raw milk?
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I saw like what's the thing that's going on right now? They're trying to like ban raw milk or something.
It's not legal in PA, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
you can only get it from like a farm or something. They sell it like kefir. I saw one video in Texas. They had to label it as like dog food or something to sell the raw milk, something like that. It's crazy.
It's crazy that they promote like all the bad shit. I think I saw that one too. It was like raw milk. They ban raw milk in PA, but then you can have like what was it, the flavored like Fruit Loop type cereal like drinks and stuff like that. They're just loaded with crap. Like crazy.
Insane.
And most of the time we don't even notice. We feed our kids that stuff, and we don't even think twice. I know I probably ate a lot of crap as a kid. Not knowing. You know what I mean? You're a kid. You're gonna eat whatever.
My go-to was cereal, man. That was my favorite dinner growing up. Cereal.
Yeah.
That was my shit, you know? My kid,
Yeah.
hopefully, will never have cereal in his life until he's like 18 and he can make his own decisions, you know? No cereal in the house, dude.
There you go. Yeah. And I feel like most of America eats cereal. You know what I mean? It's just like kids. Most kids, like, it's just like that's what they give their kids, cereal. I know I had a ton of cereal as a kid.
Sugar crash has got to be insane. But we got off the topic of fasting real fast.
Absolutely.
I recommend to any male clients and post-menopausal women trying to lose weight, 12 to 16-hour intermittent fast. There's a lot of controversy, like contradicting info out there. If it works for you, my clients, nothing but good things about it. Me, I like the mental clarity and just it feels amazing to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're trying to put on muscle and you're a female premenopausal, don't fast that long. You don't get the benefits. Stick to 12 to 14 hours. I would always recommend at least 12 hours to give your gut a chance, a break from digesting food. You know what I mean? So simple. Stop eating at 8 p.m. Don't eat again until 8 a.m. in the morning. You know, it's pretty easy.
Right.
But if you're a guy trying to look leaner, man, trying to lose some weight, or you're post-menopausal woman, like I said, feel free to fast as long as you want. I've done 3 5-day water fasts, me and some of my friends. So 16 hours is nothing. You know what I mean? You'll survive.
5 days, man. What is that like?
It's a mental grind. It's easier doing it with other people too. It's Monday through Friday. We plan out the dinner with all the guys on Friday. You know what I mean? Break the fast together. But you got to get over the Tuesday hump. Tuesday's by far the worst day.
I can imagine. I feel like even with like eating shit food, like if you're gonna go out and you're gonna eat fast food or something like that, and then you keep every you're good for like a day, and then in like 2, and then in like that second day, you start to feel it again. I feel like if you go long enough without eating the crap, your body starts to adjust. You know what I mean? It's like you notice it, like you don't even crave it as much, but it takes like those few days at least, to build that habit, to get rid of it and like literally release those toxins from your body, all the bullshit.
100%. You said it. Like when you're eating shitty, man, you're going to be hungrier and you're going to have more cravings throughout your day. When you're eating healthier, protein, it's more satiating. You're more full. It's a cycle because you know what I mean. It's tough for some people to break.
Exactly.
Also, sorry to cut you off, Steve.
No, you're fine.
Did you ever see my post on nicotine?
I don't think I saw that one.
So nicotine gets a bad rap because it's paired with tobacco. Tobacco is the bad. Nicotine's got a lot of brain boosting benefits, man. It's a nootropic. It's an upper. I chew it. I definitely overdo the nicotine, full disclosure. You know what I mean? But it keeps me from snacking all day. It keeps me focused at work. Like it's a really good nicotine gum is really good, man. If you chew one piece a day, like a lot of doctors and stuff will chew nicotine gum. I've never been a smoker, nothing to do with smoking, but a lot of benefits to nicotine. So if someone's really got cravings all day, they can't stop snacking, try some nicotine gum, just 2 milligrams. I'm telling you, it'll help.
I can imagine it would. You know what I mean? Usually even just like this is obviously different, but just even standard gum, when you're chewing gum, you don't feel as hungry. But I can imagine nicotine gum, adding nicotine to it. Yeah, I'm sure.
It's a nootropic, man. It's a brain booster. There's no like harmful side effects until you overdo it, obviously. But it's not like tobacco, which is the cancer-causing substance. You know what I mean?
Obviously, it's a big difference.
So yeah, a lot of people don't know that, and they'll be like, "What are you chewing? Let me get a piece." I'm like, "It's nicotine." They're like, "Oh, you're a smoker?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm not a smoker. I'm just, just hacking out here."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, if it helps, it helps. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? It doesn't. There's no side effects that's going to show anything negative. So you know what I mean? But that's immediately when I hear nicotine, that's what you think of. You think of tobacco because that's exactly what it's paired with. You're right.
Yeah, man. You think a smoker's bad? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I've done a couple posts on that, and that helps a lot because I'm up so early, man. I only eat 3 meals a day, but I'm up by 5 a.m. every day. I probably don't break the fast till like 8:30ish, but I'm a human, dude. I'm hungry all the time. You know what I mean? I could eat all day. My problem is overeating. Family parties, everyone's like, dude, what is that? Your third plate? As they're like eating ice cream and cake, but I can't have my third plate of the meat that's there at the party. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Everyone's got something to say about the third plate of meat, but it's normal to have your cake and ice cream.
Yeah. Me and my buddies really like that when we went to my buddy's wife threw like a surprise like 30th birthday thing for him at his parents' house in what was it, July, and like we went back for like we wanted like more chicken and stuff like that, so we go back for it, and everybody else eating dessert.
And the looks you get, and you're the bad guy, you're the weirdo. You know what I mean?
it's like I prefer like I'm honestly blessed that way. Like I like my sweets, don't get me wrong. But I would like that's the thing. Like one thing I had to kick more was more of like the fast food type of thing because like I crave more meat than I crave like sweets. Like to me, like my brother, he's a huge like gym rat where he's good with his diet, weighs all his food, and he works out all the time too. He's more of like a sweets guy. So for him, like when he likes to have a cheat, he'll enjoy himself like something sweet on like a Saturday or something like that. But to me, like I'm more of a I was more when I was kicking things was more of like kicking like fast food and stuff like that. But everybody's different. You know what I mean? Some people it's like their weakness is sweets.
Great point, man. Yeah, I used to be. Fast food was never an issue, but I'm like you with the meat stuff. I was always that over the sweets, and then my wife kind of got me into some sweets, and she bakes and shit all the time, and that's dangerous. Even you know what I mean? She got me into. I've never even tried a piece of cheesecake till like 6 years ago, and I'm obsessed with cheesecake. Cheesecake's my downfall. I will say that.
Oh man, yeah, I was gonna say cheesecake is the best, but it's like you gotta be careful. Cheesecake like is super heavy too.
It's literally the worst food for you could ever eat. It's the worst. It's got so much fat in it. The highest one little slice of cheesecake is probably like 1,500 calories easily right there.
Yeah.
And that's on a normal day. That's what I consume like before dinner. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, like if you and this is obviously different, but you go to the Cheesecake Factory and you see like those slices, 2,000 calories could be like a slice. Like you get like one of those big Oreo slices, like 2,000 calories. It's crazy,
and they're insane, man. They're so goddamn good. I don't care what anyone says.
They're so good. Like it's like damn, it's like I can't. This one guy I know, he was an IFBB pro. He used to be so he competed and stuff like that. When anytime he'd finish a competition, that would be where he'd go. He'd go to the Cheesecake Factory, he'd go and he'd get like his favorite like slice or maybe 2 slices of cheesecake. And that's how he would like break like after I guess prep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that mental grind, man, that mental discipline. You reward yourself.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But it's like, and then like it's crazy though. People can eat things like that, like, and they don't even know. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even, people would never guess like 1,500 calories. You know what I mean? Like for like a slice, but it's crazy.
A lot of people don't know what it feels like to be at like their 100%. You know what I mean? Like people that don't exercise at all, they eat like shit. They just wake up every day and they just think like that's how they feel. That's normal how they feel every day. You know what I mean? Sluggish, tired every day. You know, like. The simplest changes, man. Like I had a guy who couldn't break his plateau. He was a bigger guy. He wouldn't drop the protein powder. It had sucralose in it. I'm like, dude, you're doing everything. I'm telling you, avoid sucralose. You know what I mean? That's another ingredient I recommend avoiding. Finally got this dude to stop. He lost 5-10 pounds in the first week he dropped sucralose, which is crazy. That's just an ingredient. That's not even extra calories or anything. But like the simplest tweaks in your diet, man. Eat cleaner, aim for whole foods over processed, avoid some ingredients. Inflammation's everything. Rid the body of inflammation, man.
Yeah, and you're gonna feel fuller quicker. Like I notice when I eat like whole foods, I feel fuller quicker. That's like my brother said. He says the same thing. You know, you can eat your chicken with your veggies and you say like you don't want to go like brown rice. You know, I think everybody thinks brown rice is like healthy, but obviously there's arsenic, different things. It's a complex carbohydrate, so it can depend on when you're eating it throughout the day. But you know, remember what they used to say all the time? They used to say white rice is bad, and they used to say brown rice is good, but not necessarily. White rice isn't a complex carbohydrate. It's actually a simple carbohydrate. So if you're eating it later in the day, you know, white rice is probably the better option. I would assume you would probably agree with that. White rice later in the day is probably the better option than brown rice. It depends.
I only recommend white rice to my clients, and that is one of my 2 main sources of carbs right now. And cook then cool. Cook then cool your white rice. Cook then cool your potatoes. It increases the resistant starch. It lowers the glycemic index. So if I were to make rice and eat it right away, glucose levels are going to spike because that's what carbs do. Yeah. If I cook then cool it, it's going to be much lower. So meal prepping potatoes and rice has benefits to it because it's actually better for you. It's going to have a lower glycemic index, pair with a fat, pair with a protein, and you're minimizing the damage. Like I said, you can eat the same food, but there's so many tweaks you can do that people just don't know. You know what I mean? But cooking and cooling is the easiest trick, man. Potatoes and white rice. And always white rice over brown. I did a whole post on that as well. And it's funny because I grew up eating brown rice thinking I was very healthy.
Me too. Yeah, man. You don't really realize. Like, that's what they always told you. They always told you it was brown rice. You know, I'll stay away from white rice. But not necessarily true. And it's, at all. So, Yeah, I was gonna say, and then fats wise, I don't know if you like. I love avocados, like avocados for a fat source.
I eat one every single day, man. One. I eat half with my breakfast, half with my lunch, and also avocados. I never even had one until like 5-6 years ago too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I think I had my first one probably like 5 years ago, but you know what I mean? Because that's not something I grew up like eating. You know what I mean? But no,
same thing.
they're delicious.
They're amazing, and I don't care what anyone says about avocado toast. Avocado toast is incredible. I don't care how bougie it is, and when it gets, you know what I mean. You order avocado toast, people are like, "Oh, this guy," you know what I mean? It's amazing. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
It's great with eggs. You throw some everything bagel seasoning on there. It's the best, and it's a superfood, man. It's one of the best. It's got so many vitamins. It's a great source of fat. Healthy fats are good. A lot of people like aim for fat-free stuff. It's usually filled with garbage. Aim for good fats. Like our boy Bryce said in here, like coconut milk is my preferred milk source for all my Ninja Creamies and everything. Coconut milk is a great source of fat. So if I'm pairing, that sounds like a Ninja Creamy recipe, by the way, Bryce, that I make. I make clean Ninja Creamy recipes. Like I'll do the maple syrup as my sweetener, and I'll curve that with protein powder, coconut milk, because maple syrup's high in sugar. It's going to spike the glucose levels. But again, there's ways to curve that. You know what I mean? There's ways to hack that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, so that's how you make that golden milk that he's talking about. And he's got turmeric in there too, I think. It's turmeric. I used to make like what was it? It was like a drink, like if you're feeling like it was like a before bed type of drink. I used to mix, I'll be honest, it wasn't the tastiest drink. I used to make it I used to make it when I was working overnights. And when I come home in the morning, I would blend it up. I would do a little bit of cilantro, a little bit of what's the other one? Like parsley or kale. I think it was like kale. I would have lemon juice, lime juice, obviously like a couple glasses of water, and like one thing I'd add some turmeric, some ginger, and apple cider vinegar, so some ACV, and then you wouldn't even taste the apple cider vinegar because there's everything else in there. And I think some cucumber too. And I'd mix that all together, and I would just force myself to drink it. You know what I mean? Like even if I eventually got really good at drinking it, I never ever really, I was fine with it. Eventually, at first I had to kind of like pinch my nose and just kind of face down. But I'll tell you what, like that was a fantastic drink, like to like de-bloat you. Like I felt so great when I'd wake up before I would drink that before I'd go to sleep, and it was like literally it was like a super type of drink. You know what I mean? But yeah, all like clean ingredients. But like people would hear this, they'd be like, "Ew, that's disgusting." Like,
dude, I'll drink anything if you tell me it's good for me. I don't care what anything tastes like. I did a video. I reviewed beef liver, beef kidney, a couple of organ meats. I've tried all the organ meats, by the way. That might gross some people out, but they're so nutritious. I eat 3 ounces of beef liver every day. Beef liver is the cheapest multivitamin out there. I eat that with my eggs. I've talked about that before. My thing. I have a whole egg bake recipe I make every Sunday, man, for the week. It's so simple. But yeah, kidney is by far the worst organ out there. It smells up the house too. It smells like a zoo. The wife doesn't like that.
Oh man, I can imagine.
That's
but I always see you're like I was gonna say I always see you're a big beef liver component. I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, so
I was doing that before Liver King blew up too. Now it looks like I'm copying off Liver. You know what I mean? Like this wannabe Liver King guy. We were eating liver way before Liver King came on, burst onto the scene. For the record.
Liver King eats his raw. It's like
I don't do that. I'm not hardcore. Just give me the benefits. I don't need to be hardcore about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm like, you don't ever really know if he's like. That's what I'm saying. You don't ever really know if he's really eating all that. You know, you see that it's a glimpse, and you see him like chew some bites, and then it's usually a Liver King out type of thing, and you don't know if he's. You know what I mean?
I just don't understand it. Like if you can cook it, it's better cooked. I've tried it raw. It's not. It's chewy. It's gross. You know what I mean? Just cook your meat.
Exactly. It's like
real fast on your drink you were talking about. Little tip too: kale and spinach. Try not eating that stuff raw.
Okay.
It's loaded with oxalates. I'll explain what oxalates are in a second. But when you cook spinach and kale, it rids of most of the oxalates. Oxalates are something that when you digest, it's going to prevent your body from absorbing the nutrients that your body's getting. So a lot of people make smoothies and they'll put like raw spinach, raw kale, thinking it's very healthy.
Yeah.
The oxalates are blocking your body from absorbing all the nutrients from that smoothie. So if you do eat spinach is awesome. Love it with my eggs. Cook it first. Same with kale. Cook the oxalates out. So that's just a little tip with the greens there.
Okay. Yeah, to be honest, spinach, in my opinion, it tastes 10 times better cooked too. So
I agree, but some people get crazy with their smoothies. And another thing on smoothies, don't blend the fruit. Blending your fruit, drinking that as compared to eating it, your body is digesting that like a Coca-Cola, those natural sugars. When you eat, it strips it of fiber when you blend your fruit up. So that's a
yeah,
big one. When you eat your fruit, your body digests it way better, especially from the natural sugars. Less glucose spikes. When you blend it up, man, it's going to shoot up there like a soda.
yeah. I didn't know the glucose and natural sugar stuff. I can imagine how that makes sense. I was going to say also, I'm assuming when you eat your foods whole, it probably fills you up a little bit better too, because you're not breaking it down into like a drink. You know what I mean? You're
You nailed it, man. The fiber.
longer too.
You nailed it.
Exactly,
Yeah, your intuition was right.
So like, yeah. Anytime you blend something up into like a drink, it's like you could suck it down real quick. Whereas if you actually have to chew your food and swallow like whole food, it's gonna sit. That's like why like something like potato chips. You eat potato chips. That's not gonna fill you at all. It's literally just just heavy
empty calories. And you can eat 3 bags in a sitting, man. Goldfish, like I said, used to be my shit. The carton of them too, not a little bag, the carton of them.
Yeah. That's how no, my buddy was the same way. You could just tear through some goldfish. I could probably back in the day like be that way with like Doritos, you know what I mean? Just tear through some Doritos, and it's like you can just tear through them like they're nothing,
And that's how they're designed, man. That's how literally they're designed. They're made for you to just keep eating them and want to eat them, you know what I mean? So if you don't touch them, if you don't have them in the house, it's a lot easier, you know?
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, and that's why I said like that's like the problem I think like with America too, man. It's just like we promote like you see every other commercials like something for like some terrible food and stuff like that. It's like, and then it starts at an early age. Kids see it, and then they ask their parents, hey, they want you to buy it, and then it's just like it's just normalized here. You know what I mean? In the United States, it's just like normalized.
Or medication. I'm pretty sure America is the only country to allow pharmaceutical companies to advertise. I remember seeing a big thing like people from other countries that were here just like watching TV. They could not believe that like 80% of ads were just pharmacies selling medications and prescriptions to us. It was like mind blowing to them.
Yeah, insanity. It's like we promote terrible foods for you. We promote like all the like you said, medications and stuff like that. And that's the problem. Then our bodies become reliant on that as well, which is terrible. Anytime like I'm in pain or something like that, it has to be like super big for me to even want to take like ibuprofen or anything.
Ibuprofen, by the way, is the worst thing ever. Ibuprofen.
Yeah, it's not good for you at all. Like that's what I'm saying. Like just you can naturally heal yourself. Your muscles are sore, something like that. Ice your body up. You know what I mean? Take care of your body. You know what I mean? It's and then also removing inflammation too helps out too. When you're
Do you know who Cam Hayes is? He went.
Yeah, Cam Hayes.
He's the hunter and everything. He's the runner. He's a savage.
Yeah,
but he would literally take ibuprofen every single day to get rid of inflammation. Rhonda Patrick, I don't know if you know who she is. She's amazing. She's been on Rogan a lot too.
Yeah, no.
But she went on and like basically ripped ibuprofen to shreds. It was like that causes inflammation. So Cam Hayes stopped taking it immediately, dropped his inflammation right away. Like he was taking ibuprofen to get rid of his inflammation, not knowing that it's causing his inflammation.
Wow, that's crazy. It's like it promotes it promotes you to get rid of it, and then it causes it. And even going to foods, like I used to work like when I was real young, like 18, 19 years old, I used to work at Acme in the deli, and then you would see like the low salt like turkeys, and then you see like regular turkey, and a lot of the low salt like literally turkeys, we would look at the back of the ingredients. The low salt turkeys would actually have more salt than the actual regular like turkey. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're looking, it's like low salt, or it'll be like low fat like turkey, or
that's what I was gonna say. That's like the fat free shit.
Yeah, and then you see all the crap ingredients in the back.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Don't be scared of healthy fats, people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know what I mean? It's if you're gonna eat fats, you might as well just eat the natural, like the healthy fats. You know what I mean? There's no sense like. Anytime something's cut out, they had to add something to. If they're gonna make it fat free, they added something. If they're cutting sugar, if it's
sugar free, turn that shit around. See what they're doing to get that sweet. You know what I mean?
Exactly, sugar-free cookies. Yeah, if you're gonna eat a cookie, you might as well just eat a cookie. Like literally. I mean, when you think about it, if you're gonna eat a cookie, just eat a cookie. Like it's sugar-free. Like,
are you a big condiments guy?
I do like my condiments, and the good thing is, we had a guy on here before, Matt. He's a fitness coach. He has a lot of hacks for like good, clean condiments. Like, I I think I'm sure you probably have some good hacks too. I'm sure I'd love you to share them. I'm sure you got some great condiment hacks.
Yeah, so I'm not a big condiment guy myself. I could eat like chicken and rice dry. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My wife can't, and my clients can't. So I'm very understanding of that. A lot of my bigger guys love their sauces. Primal Kitchen makes every different kind of sauce you can have. They're pricey, but they're worth it. I'm telling you, my bigger guys drop weight from eating like their delicious go-to meals with some barbecue sauce. They have wing sauces, dressings. A lot of people eat their salad. They'll put some ranch dressing on it. Little did they know that ranch dressing has soybean oil. It's doing terrible things to their body. Primal Kitchen has everything. Can't recommend them enough. People will bitch about the prices. They're clean. You can count on them. Mark Sisson's the owner. He's like the OG bio. He's like 90 years old with a six-pack right now.
Wow. Fantastic, man.
So there's that. If you're a taco guy, Siete. They make all clean stuff. They make clean chips, sauces, wraps, hard taco shells. Can't recommend Siete enough too. So Siete and Primal Kitchen. Clean products, taste awesome. You know what I mean? You don't have to deprive yourself to lose weight.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great to know, man. So, all right. So I'm going to have to make a note of that. To be honest, I like when I have like condiments, it's usually like hot sauce, something like it's like, so it's very like no calories or super low calories, or I like I even like mustard too, which is like very low calories. You can have some mustard. It's like I'm not really like a ranch guy. I gotta have ranch or stuff like that. But yeah, no, those condiments can stack up very quickly.
They do. But that's good. The hot sauce and the mustard, nothing to worry about there. You know what I mean? But they do make Primal Kitchen makes the spicy mustard, the buffalo sauce. Because a lot of my guys, they need that shit to stay sane. You know what I mean? I get it. You know, like they can't eat the bland stuff and it's not sustainable. This is about sustainability. That's what my program's about. You know what I mean? I don't want you to come to me for 12 weeks, lose some weight, doing stuff that you're not going to be able to do years down the road. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's a lifestyle. You know what I mean? It's a lifestyle. It's not just like a lose some weight now and then go right back to the old like BS. Because if you do, like you said, you'll lose weight now, but as soon as you go back to the old habits, it's just you're gonna blimp right back up.
Yeah, man. So it's all about sustainability. That's why I throw those sauces out there. That's why I do a clean dessert review every single weekend, Friday and Saturday, just to show this shit's out there, man. And I don't eat like a robot. I'm not eating chicken and rice every meal. You know what I mean? I'm stuffing my face with these clean desserts Friday and Saturday night. You know what I mean?
I know you kind of put me onto like what is it, the Ninja Creamy?
The Ninja Creamy. It was the best. It was a Mother's Day gift, and it's been the best gift to me ever. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I saw you had one. It was like a pumpkin like type thing you had going on. I love pumpkin, so like for me that's
me too. Pumpkin's amazing. I can't wait for fall every year. We got football, pumpkin. It's the best. And pumpkin, no one knows vitamin A. Great source of vitamin A, man. Pumpkin.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually didn't know that. Yeah, the great source of vitamin A.
Yeah, just make sure it should say pumpkin. That should be the only ingredient because you'll run into some crazy ones, you know?
Yeah, it's critical too. The guy Matt we had on here said the same thing. It was like something about like pumpkin. He said just one ingredient.
One ingredient. Don't put anything else in this can of pumpkin, you know?
Yeah, it's like as soon as it becomes and as soon as they're adding other stuff to it, it's like so if you'll pick up a can, you see one that has pumpkin and another one has pumpkin and like 10 other ingredients.
Yeah.
Like, why is that needed? You know what I mean? It just makes you wonder like what's going on. But yeah, I was somebody who never, when I was younger, used to look at ingredients. Now, like when I go to the grocery store, you know, I turn the thing around and I'm looking like my grocery trips take longer, but hey, it's worth it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. I had a client be like, dude, I get pissed when I turn around something and I see this bullshit in it. You know what I mean? After being in my program, like I literally had a client say that. I'm like, I know, isn't it insane? Like you see the front of something and it's advertising all this stuff, organic, et cetera, et cetera. And you turn it around, and it's got like 3 oils in it. You're like, you guys couldn't make this shit without this garbage in it? Like, yeah, it's mind blowing, man.
It really is. And I'm not perfect. I'm trying to learn. I'm still trying to, learn along the way and everything like that. But it's like, yeah, you start to recognize it's actually harder to find, like, especially in this country, I feel, or depending on where you shop, you go to a standard shop or at a Walmart, the majority of the green or Acme, you go to the majority of things you see on the shelves and stuff, like they have crap ingredients in them. It's crazy. It's harder to find the stuff that's clean versus the stuff that's not. Like, it's just like, it's normalized here.
Just go down a nut aisle and try finding nuts without peanut oil in it. It's
yeah,
crazy.
Oh, man.
It's like salted nuts, peanut oil. Like we couldn't just salt the nuts and throw them in a bag and call it a day. Like, why are we putting oil in this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it's like, and then, we consume this stuff regularly and don't even think twice about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's a big thing, man. Rid the body of inflammation. You'll feel better before you even get results. Like, you'll feel it, your muscles, your joints. It's what I preach, man. It's what I try putting out there.
Fantastic, man. Yeah, a lot of gems there, man. I was gonna say, you're right now too. I know you have a special, right? You got something when the Birds win, right? Because you're a fitness coach yourself. You offer 15% off, right? After every Birds win.
For 24 hours after every Eagles win, 15% off everything. My workout programs, ftvfitness.com, and one-on-one coaching. So hit me up, DM me for that discount code, 24 hours after every Eagles win. I would say every Monday, but we play so many primetime games, which sucks. Yeah. I'll be honest. It's getting harder to stay up for these games as we get older. I'll be honest, man.
I know. This year was so weird, man.
It's exhausting.
We'll talk some Birds and Phillies. We'll keep it brief in like a minute, but man, it's just I saw the schedule and we were on an episode. Me and a couple of my boys were on here and we were breaking down the schedule back in August, like doing our predictions between every game. We walked through the games and we're like, oh, win, loss, we're breaking them down. And when I looked, I'm like, wow, there's like 3 1:00 games like this year.
3 1:00 games, man.
I'm like all 4 o'clock or later. Like unbelievable.
I don't mind the 4s because you kind of get to enjoy the 1s. You know what I mean? But there's something just like traditional about just the 1:00 Sunday football game. You know what I mean?
True. That is true. The only thing I like about the 4 o'clock is if I have a busy Sunday, I can get a lot of shit done like before that 4 o'clock slot, and then I can literally relax before I watch it. I'm like big on this. Like this is just maybe me. I'm somebody that like before I'm gonna sit back and relax and watch the Eagles. Like on Monday, it was the night game. I knew I was gonna have a busy Monday. I had a lot of shit on that list I wanted to get done that day, whether it was work, hit it in the gym, anything outside of that. I'm taking like courses for my career right now, like online and stuff. There was a lot I wanted to get done before I got to sit down and enjoy that football game. And I feel like that makes it so much sweeter. Once you get to have some entertainment at the end of it, it's something to look forward to. And it kind of pushes you a little bit more.
I never sit on my ass. I pride myself to get up and move.
Yep.
I know every Sunday I'm going to be sitting on my goddamn ass. You know what I mean? So every Sunday morning is crazy to 1:00, dude. I'm meal prepping for the week. I take my little guy out for a walk in the morning. If you're in any football pools, you put in all your picks, your fantasy guys. Like people brag about I'm sure you've been out on the West Coast for a Sunday of football. Have you ever where football starts at 10 a.m.?
Yeah. It starts at 10 a.m. out there. Yep.
So people are like, this is great. It's amazing. Like Sunday night football starts at 5:30. I'm like, I wouldn't be able to get shit done, dude, any Sunday. Like 1:00 sneaks up on you like that on Sunday. Imagine a 10 a.m. kickoff every single Sunday.
Yeah, because even if you get up at like 5 or 6 to get stuff done, it's like, football's at 10 a.m. It's within 4 hours. Like
that's
it's like
what
how much
I mean.
can you really get done? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm in the same boat there, man. You got to earn your football on Sundays.
Exactly. I finished work at 3 o'clock today. You know what I mean? I started at 7 and or 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning. And then I finished at 3 and I was like, 4 hours to the podcast. I actually meal prepped a little bit into the weekend. I was doing some other stuff. Next thing you know, it's like freaking 6:30. I'm like, dude, it's almost time to hop on the podcast. Like time just flies, man. Especially when you're working.
Daily light movement too, man. Keep it moving. People don't realize, like, you ever hear of NEAT activities? NEAT? Non-exercise activities. It's basically any movement outside the gym. So like housework, dishes, mowing the lawn. Like, dude, that shit is so important. Anything but sitting on your ass on the couch. You don't have to be in the gym for 2 hours at a time. 5 days a week. You can lift 3-4 days a week. I work out 6 days a week, but you can literally work out 3 days a week, maintain muscle mass, and just be active on those non-workout days, man. That's all it is. Just move your body.
Exactly. It's like because I know I'm inactive like when I'm working because I work like literally this is like my office here and like I got 3 screens and stuff, so I'll be like sitting, but even that I'll try to like every once in a while, I'm not on meet and stuff, I'll try to stand up. I got 3 screens kind of going on. I try to stand up and work and just move around too. Take breaks. Move around. And just yeah. And then so anytime I'm not working, I'm trying to move around. I'm trying to get some type of movement in.
For my clients with desk jobs, that's literally what I recommend. Like, I know you're in an office. I've been in a 9-to-5 desk job before. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people have. Get up and walk around. If the bathroom's on, use the farther bathroom. You know what I mean? Go on a lunchtime walk. Morning routine. I'm huge on my morning routine. I recommend that to everyone. I know that's not easy for everyone, but go on a 10-minute morning walk. Get up and commit to 40 jumping jacks in the morning if you're sitting at your desk all day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There's just small shit that you can do. And people get overwhelmed with, I don't have time to go to the gym for 2 hours, 5-6 days a week. You don't have to do that. You know?
even with that one, it's like there's 24 hours in a day. But even that, like you said, you don't have to go for 2 hours. You really don't. You don't need to get an effective workout. You don't have to go 2 hours, especially not like 5-6 days a week. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, you don't have to do that.
You don't. And some people like us enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll go for 2 hours, and honestly, I'll enjoy it. Like, I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I went early this week, and I mixed in like an hour cardio, and I did like an hour and like 15, hour and 20 of like weights. But to me, I love it. Like, to me, it's like, I don't mind that. But I get it. Like a lot of people, even as busy as I am, I try to make time. You know what I mean? I still always try to make time. The only thing I'll say is I don't have kids, so I get it for people that they have kids, they work full-time job. Not everybody even just works 8 hours. Some people work 12-hour days. You know what I mean? It can be tough, but you can still find time to get some type of movement in, even if
You just
it's
got to
like
make it a
45.
priority, man. You got to make it a priority. It'll happen. You know what I mean? I have a kid, and before I had a kid, I'd be like, yeah, I was clueless. You know what I mean? A kid really changes everything, but you make time, man. Right? Like a lot of my clients struggle because they work overnight and their schedule varies, and you work around. Like, there's tips to work around that. You got to get on a sleeping schedule, even if that means you're going to bed at 9 a.m. Go to bed at 9 a.m. Get the room blackening curtains. You know what I mean? There's hacks around it. Eat at the same time every day, especially if you're working overnight. Like, your body will know. It's food equals circadian rhythm.
Absolutely. I know we were just talking this morning to George, because he works he doesn't even work like a full overnight. He'll work till like 3. I used to work till like 5:36 in the morning when I worked at Lowe's, and I never had like an Apple Watch. I had nothing tracking my calories, but I used to go do cardio during the day, and then at night it was like a weight room. Like at Lowe's, I'm lifting toilets, I'm lifting stuff, I'm up on machines, and like I would like literally be like drenched, like I would bust my ass, like. But I never was like had my calories, how much I was burning tracked. The one year, I adjusted my eating a little bit, but I still almost kept the same. But because I guess I was probably burning so many freaking calories, I didn't even know. But that was because I didn't have a desk job. I had a physical job.
Correct.
I'm in those hot trucks unloading them, and then like putting stuff on the shelf, lifting showers and different things and crazy stuff, man.
You're a guy that you would need to lift for like 40 minutes a day, man. You'd be shredded doing that shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's all you would need. You wouldn't need any cardio at the gym, nothing.
Exactly. And then just, that's where diet is just like so critical.
Correct.
So I'm working right now. I'm like trying to lose some body fat, because I know, as I lose like body fat, I already lift as I do. And it's like, I know like underneath all that fat, you could be absolutely shredded once you lose the body fat.
Fix the diet, man. Even lighten up the cardio at the gym. This is what my workout programs are really designed around this, but like do your strength sets, and in between every strength, like 4 sets of barbell squats, do 50 jumping jacks or hit a 300-meter row on the rower. Do 4 sets of legs, hit your hit set, 50 jumping jacks or 300-meter row. It completely changes. How many times have you done a chest workout? You walk out of the gym without breaking a sweat. You know what I mean? You go there, you bench. It's kind of low heart rate activity. Throw in one minor hit movement after every 4 sets. 4 sets of dumbbell chest press. Go do a 300-meter row or 50 jumping jacks. I'm telling you, it changes your whole workout to fat burning mode. You'll be in like zone 2 heart rate the whole time. I'm definitely going to
do that next week. Starting next week with my workout, I'm going to add it in there. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, I'll send you some of my workouts when we get off here for free. Absolutely.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. Hey, man, if I and that's the thing. Like, hey, man, I might hit you up for coaching too. You know what I mean? We'll see. If I feel like, honestly, I start to feel like I need it, I definitely will, and I'll definitely recommend other people to hit you up too. You know what I mean? You definitely have some really, really great stuff going on, man. I appreciate the free value too.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah. So we actually had a guy. It's funny you say like weight training too. It's funny. We had a guy, like I said, we had another coach who was on here, and he said so many people when they're trying to lose weight, like cardio is important, but he's like, a lot of people will kill themselves trying to do cardio and implementing no type of weight training in. He's like, when you weight train, your body continues to burn calories after that workout. Whereas cardio, it's you steady state cardio. You burn calories during the workout, but like when you're done weightlifting and weight training, you burn calories throughout the day. So you hit like a weight training workout in the morning, you continue to burn calories. Cardio is still important. It's good to have a mix, but a lot of people will just kill themselves doing cardio, and that's all they'll do.
Look at cardio for heart health. If you want that, cardio is for heart health, which has its place, obviously. Strength training, you will burn more calories at rest from strength training. So if I do a strength training workout, I'm going to be burning more calories 5 hours later doing absolutely nothing than if I ran on the treadmill for an hour at the gym.
Right.
So, yeah, that's great advice. None of my clients that lose weight, man, do hours of cardio. We do not do cardio. We do a 10-minute warm-up. Get some sprints are huge, man. I'm a big sprinter. If you ever look at like a marathon runner versus a sprinter, one looks like an NFL player. One looks like they haven't eaten a meal in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Sprinting is huge, man. It boosts testosterone. If you want to like get shredded, man, sprinting is awesome. I do 2 sets of sprints a week. You can do that on a treadmill, outside. It's super easy too, man. It's not like mentally hard. Like, you dread that run. I don't know about you, but I fucking hate running. I'll do a couple miles here and there, but I hate running. So sprinting is so simple, man. You literally walk for 1 minute and you sprint all out for 20 to 30 seconds. Right back to walking for 45 seconds. So, it's not that mental grind where you're just jogging along. You know what I mean?
Steady state cardio. Because I'll tell you what, I don't like running on the treadmill for steady state cardio like I do, or so I do love weight training, but when it comes to cardio, like running on the treadmill or hitting the elliptical for 45 minutes intense all out, I'll be drenched in sweat by the time I'm done. I feel absolutely fantastic when I finish, but during it, you know what I mean?
It is the worst. Ditch the elliptical, dude. Get off the elliptical. I'm telling you. I'll send you some of my workouts. Stick to them. Good. You clean up the diet a little bit. I'm telling you, you'll be feeling it.
Sounds good, man. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah, it's because you feel that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because it's I don't think anybody some people do. They actually enjoy running. I have a buddy. He's he actually, ironically, yesterday just hit his 1,000-day run streak. He's ran at least a mile for 1,000 days straight.
That's goals, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and he loves it. He has fun runs every Wednesday in the city. He's got it's called Run and Chug. Ironically, he doesn't drink at all. All these other runners, he's never had he's never had a drink of alcohol his entire life. He's 31. Actually just turned 32. So his body's super clean. He doesn't drink no soda, no energy drinks. He doesn't even drink coffee. It's just straight water. But this guy,
you gotta get this dude on the pod, man.
I know, man. Yeah, non-smoker too. Never smoked. Never picked up smoking. He's just he loves running, man. He does hill repeats down at Lemon Hill down there at Kelly Drive every Tuesday. He's got a group, and it's a fun run group. And he honestly has built a really solid community with it. He's got people that they go and they they'll take trips different places up to Poconos, different spots. They'll take a trip to the shore, or go to Phillies games, but he's built a really good community with it, and it's he makes it really fun, which is cool. You know
that's awesome. That's goals, man. That's awesome.
Exactly.
Do what you love to do, man. Do what you love to do.
Exactly. And it's a healthy habit. You know what I mean? You're doing something you love and it's healthy. It's not something that's bad. We got a comment down here. It says on YouTube, it says Dr. Evil makes sense. I don't know who Dr. Evil's YouTube channel is, but that's pretty funny. Yeah, I'm dying. We're at that 1 hour mark, so I guess man, great stuff. At the end, I know I linked your stuff on for Instagram and Facebook, but I'll link under in the YouTube comments because I can post from here too, so everybody can follow your channels, man. But I guess we could probably just implement some sports to kind of close out here.
Yeah, I'm in. Time flew, man. That was great, dude.
Man, that's how it is, man. Great discussion, and it just flies by. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm in for some sports talk, dude. What do you want to start with? You want to talk Eagles, Washington, or you want to get into Phillies?
We'll start with the Eagles, and then we'll move over to the Phillies. Yeah, so Eagles, Washington, man. Eagles, we were talking earlier, Eagles are, guys, they're looking good, 3-0. Defense looks sound. Offensive line looks sound. Running game looks sound. Even A.J. Brown got involved this week, but I think we can obviously, understand that Hurts, I think, is still kind of easing his way into the season. He still hasn't played a fantastic game yet. I think that just bodes well that we're 3-0, and he hasn't even played his best game yet. I think it's a matter of time, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, man.
Yeah, I think they're just survive in advance. Hurts is definitely making it a point not to be a runner like he was last year. I saw something where he thought he broke his collarbone in that Chicago game last year where he had the AC joint sprain.
Yeah.
So that was probably an eye-opening thing where it all could have been taken away right there. He's got this glaze over his face. I mentioned this earlier, but every time they show him, it's like there's no one home or something. You know what I mean? Like this malign, after an interception or something, which is very uncharacteristic. He doesn't turn the ball over, so that's a little concerning there. I think they'll get it. They're just so talented. They're so talented. The Niners are scary, I'll be honest, man. And Dallas looked like one hell of a team before they shit the bed in Arizona. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Classic Dallas. I love Stephen A's point on that. He says He says, just wait. Just hang in there. What can go wrong will go wrong with Dallas. I don't know.
Yeah, like Diggs, just like, could you imagine losing like a start? Like we hear like Jalen Carter towards ACL practice. It's like, what the fuck? Like at least in a game, you can like watch what happened and see your guy go down. Like imagine just getting a tweet from Schefter that your best cornerback, all pro cornerback, is towards ACL. That's terrible, man. That's a big loss. I mean, they still got Micah Parsons and everything, but still.
Yeah, that's still a loss, man. It's like they lost one of their corners. It'd be like us losing Slay. You know what I mean? Like
exactly, and just in practice at a freak thing for a year. That's crazy.
It's a shame, man. Like and that's what I said. Like I know some people are just like ridiculous. You know, they'll say, he like look, Diggs got hurt. It's like, you know how some Eagles fans are just absolutely crazy. I'm like, I'm never ever gonna make fun of someone for getting hurt. Like, come on, like what are we doing?
Yeah, and shit happens, man. You know, injuries can happen. We lost Carson fucking Wentz in our best year of our lifetime. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that was the most devastating injury ever.
Yeah,
it turned out to be a Super Bowl, but no, I thought that was I thought that was it, man. I went to the game 2 weeks later against Oakland on Christmas night. It was the coldest game I've ever been to, and Foles was horrendous. We scored like 13 points in the game to clinch home field. Like no one saw that shit coming.
And then like 2 weeks after that, or it might have been 3 weeks because we had a bye. Yeah, I almost went to that Oakland game. I went to the Eagles-Falcons playoff game, that first round game. So me and my buddy were supposed to meet a bunch of friends down at Xfinity Live. It was absolutely freezing cold that day. A lot of people were like, nah, like they all backed out. We're down there sitting in the parking lot, just throwing back a couple beers and stuff, just hanging out. And it's kind of doing our own tailgate. And I'm like, one of my buddies is a Dallas fan. He calls me up and he's like, yo, man, he's like, did you see what the ticket prices went down to? They were originally like $300 for standing room. He's like, dude, they went down to $100. So I'm like, dude, instead of going to Xfinity, I'm like, you want to just go over to the box office while we're here? Go see what they got. So we went over. We're like, you guys got a standing room for $100. They're like, we got them for $80. We're like, not even a question. Just went in. You're like, yeah, we'll bundle up. We'll buy stuff. It's like, yo, I'm not even a question. Like
that's an experience, man. That's a great story to tell, dude.
Yeah. We went on like a quick Facebook Live. We're like, yo, catch your boys on TV, like just joking around. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna be going to the game, and it was below zero by the time kickoff hit, but it was an experience. They got the win, and even in that game, Foles looked shaky.
It was ugly, man. That knee interception that turned into a completion and a field goal before the first half.
Yeah, that
was everything, man.
Yep. And then Foles didn't look great until that NFC Championship game when we played the Vikings, and he went off, and then he obviously looked fantastic in the Super Bowl too.
Yeah. Played perfect. But yeah, to get it back to them now, they're 8.5 point favorites this weekend. I think last year losing to Washington actually helps them this weekend. You know what I mean? I think that's definitely on their minds. You know what I mean? We're not gonna let these guys beat us again here. So definitely like the Eagles to get the win. Obviously, they're 8.5 points favorites. Yeah, I think Hurts got to play a little better, but again, I think they're all just gearing up towards December, January. That's what they're thinking about.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, no, Washington division games, they're always tricky, but I also think they have Sam Howell and not Taylor Heineke. I think Taylor Heineke has always kind of been a low-key a pain in our ass. Taylor Heineke plays very hard against us, and he was a tricky quarterback to figure out. I don't know why. He was a pain in our ass. Anytime we played Taylor Heineke, but it's a big difference, Sam Howell versus Taylor Heineke, too. They do have a decent defense, decent pass rush, but our offensive line is absolutely fantastic. So,
yeah, that's their strength. Their D-line is definitely their strength.
Yeah, but the good thing is we got the best offensive line in the league. So, knock on wood, I don't want any injuries, nothing like that. Full strength, our offensive line can go toe-to-toe, I think, with any defensive front in the league, and we might have the best defensive front in the league, too.
For sure.
With Jalen Carter and them boys back there, it's ridiculous. You got Carter, then you have even Jordan Davis is having a fantastic year so far, and then you have obviously all the other studs up front. You got Fletcher Cox, you have Brandon Graham, you got Josh Sweat, obviously Hassan Reddick. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Cox usually doesn't show up on the stat sheet, and his stats are like very good this year. You know what I mean? I also saw Hassan Reddick's catching some blowback, but he's got as many pressures and win rate this year through 3 weeks that he did last year. I mean, sacks are just a pretty number out there. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of the factors that go into a sack. You can beat your guy, and if the quarterback's getting, the ball out or he rolls out the other way, you're not getting your sack. You know what I mean? So Reddick's playing better than people realize. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he came back from a surgery too. He had a surgery at some point in the summer. So people also aren't taking that into account. But also, yeah, you're right. Sacks, like, it's very hard to emulate 16 sacks again. He had 16 last year. I think Bosa had 18 and a half. So he was only beat out by Nick Bosa last year, who was another fantastic defensive lineman. But yeah, it's very hard to emulate 16 sacks. And that's kind of the thing what I think Philly is like, we expect you to be at a certain level because of how you played last year. People also have to understand there's a lot more film on Jalen Hurts this year. People weren't taking him as serious going into last year versus as they are now. Like there's a lot more film on Jalen Hurts. So people have to understand that.
And we opened up against Belichick. We faced Bulls. Who did we play week 2? We played the other Belichick disciple.
Brian Flores, who's also good defensively. We played honestly 3 honestly good defensive minds to start the year.
We did. So hopefully I have faith, man. They'll get it back together. It's all about getting healthy in December and January. I do want the 1 seed though. You don't want to go into Dallas or San Fran, you know what I mean? Well, you wouldn't be Dallas because you'd play them earlier because you'd be a wild card team. But yeah, for sure. So that's definitely big. That helped us last year, obviously. I mean, we won each game by like 30 points, but it helped not getting that bye. That bye is so big with the 1 seed now. You know what I mean? With not 2 teams getting the bye.
It is, and that it's gigantic. And no, you're right. I think that San Fran game is going to be very interesting. I think Brock Purdy's playing pretty well. If he can stay consistent, it might be very interesting. The thing I had going into the year was San Fran is fantastic in every area, but the quarterback is a question. So, like, Brock Purdy's been playing pretty well so far. We'll see if he can keep up that type of play. If he can, it could be dangerous. We'll see. The only good thing we have is that we're playing San Francisco in Philadelphia in December, so they got to come here.
Correct.
And that crowd is going to be crazy for that game.
That's going to be an awesome game. And Purdy's still getting away. Like last year, he had the most turnover luck. I think it was. PFF charts that. And again, he's on the same. If you watch that Thursday night game against the Giants, there was 2 plays where Kittle literally played defense, and then Debo in the end zone played defense on a pick. So he does throw the ball up there. They just, for whatever reason, do not get intercepted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm confident in the Birds. I think that the Birds can take the Niners 1-on-1. If we play our game, we can beat, I think, anybody in the league. Even Kansas City, as good as they are. They've looked interesting. They had a really good week this week, but they also played the Chicago Bears.
Their defense is their story right now, man.
They are. Last year too, their offensive line, like we couldn't get to Mahomes, man. We had a great year.
That field was a disgrace, but yeah.
Terrible. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, no, that field was absolutely terrible. And for them to try to test that type of stuff out in the Super Bowl is just
it's so bizarre that we had a playing service like that. But yeah, it nullified the pass rush. You know what I mean? There was guys slipping everywhere. That was frustrating. You can't make an excuse. Like Mahomes is Mahomes. You know what I mean? He was unbelievable. I don't know if you watch Quarterback, the Netflix documentary. That was the first time I rewatched the Super Bowl, but he's incredible, man.
I've
no one better than Mahomes, man.
But he definitely is incredible. He could go down, if he stays healthy, the best quarterback of all time. I don't know if he'll catch Brady in terms of accomplishments, but I'm just saying, natural talent. Brady had everything in his fit. They invested in a fantastic goal line for years. They protected Brady. That's how Brady was able to stay healthy for a long time. Obviously, his diet and everything else he does, that TB12 program, but.
Yeah, he's a biohacker, man. Brady looks great out there. He's inflammation free.
Absolutely, man. He looks fantastic for his age, man. Absolutely fantastic. But people don't really realize how strict he is, man. He is so strict with
dude.
Diet stuff.
He built a business on that shit, dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. So I'm excited for what the Birds are gonna do. I think that I think we're gonna be all right. I thought that was funny last week when Dallas lost to the
start to finish. They got their asses kicked, man. Start to finish. They're also banged up on the offensive line, so that's big. They play New England this week. They're at home, so hopefully Belichick gives them some fits. Zeke Elliott revenge game.
Yeah, they seem to play Dallas pretty well at home. It's just it seems like when they go on the road, man, I don't know what it is. As long as they got Dak Prescott at the helm, man, I feel like they're not going to be able to win, man. It's just he makes mistakes in big moments, and it's just
he is a wild card, man.
Yeah, he has games where he looks like a stud, and then you have other games that just it's what are you doing? This year, that offense has looked really weird. They get into the red zone and can't finish. The defense has been carrying them, and you see when Dallas doesn't get takeaways fumbles and interceptions, you notice Dallas just they don't play as well. You saw last week they took care of the ball in Arizona, and they weren't able to turn anything into points.
Yeah, Arizona ran down their throats too all game. James Conrad, wild.
Yeah, and that's a problem for Dallas if they play us because we run the football very well. So it's like
it's going to have to be the game plan. You know what I mean? Because Micah Parsons is an absolute stud.
exactly, and that's the thing. Like, it's not the sexy move to run the football. Most people want to see deep passes. No, touchdown AJ Brown, touchdown Devontae Smith. But running the ball, if it's going to get the job done, I'm completely fine with it. Like a lot of people, they want to see the sexy plays. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't always win you the ball game. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we haven't even talked about Swift at all.
I know.
He's been the story on the offense, man.
He really has been. And if you look at, like, I was looking at the statistics earlier this week, like after he had the big game, he's literally like 30 yards behind McCaffrey, who's in first place right now for rushing leaders through 3 games.
And he only played 2 games.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. He took 1 snap in week 1. So literally, if he would have played all 3, he'd be the rushing leader right now.
Yeah, he's just got to stay healthy. He's never been healthy for a full season. You know what I mean?
That's critical. We broke that down at the beginning of the year when we had one of these episodes. And then Penny, they haven't even utilized him. Penny was another one. Has to stay healthy because I don't know how much they're really going to utilize him. But yeah,
he had to have a real down camp. They made him play in the preseason games. You know what I mean? He just made the team. It looked like over Sermon.
Yeah, he did too. Apparently, he did have a down camp. I was listening to it was like Eagles Outsiders or something. They were saying he had a down camp, and that's obviously why they didn't believe in him as much. The Gainwell was over him. Even Boston Scott was getting touches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they must not. I think they said he looked disinterested. So it was like, you're playing disinterested. It's like, yeah, we're trying to win a Super Bowl right now. So
yeah, and he's not a speed guy either. You know what I mean? He's more of a power guy. So, I mean, how does that really translate to practice when you're not DeAndre Swift? You know what I mean? Like, you see Swift touch the ball and he explodes. You know what I mean? You put Gainwell out there and there's a noticeable difference, man.
Yeah. They already said Swift, I think, has already half of the max yards he ever had in a season in Detroit. It's crazy already through just 2 games. So I think he had a 650-yard season before, and that was the max he's ever had. I mean, obviously injuries and stuff like that. So hopefully he can stay healthy. If he stays healthy, man, he's going to it's going to be an explosive year for him.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's the name of the game. Stay healthy. Let's get to December, January, man. Survive in advance.
Yeah, man. I'm optimistic about the Birds though. If they stay healthy, this team literally has a great shot to win the Super Bowl.
They can beat anyone, man.
Exactly. My one buddy just messaged. He said Washington got exposed by Buffalo. Yeah, they just got lit up. They played a fantastic team. Buffalo's a great team, and you saw what happened. I do think our game will be closer than that, only because it's division. Division games are tough. I mean, it could be a blowout, but
no, yeah, they're always wonky games, and especially Washington.
Yeah,
we always play weird games with Washington.
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass. Honestly, the Giants are the team we whoop on. We always beat the Giants.
Well, it's funny. Hal looked like Marino against Denver. I had Denver in that game, and that was a tragic loss. They melted in that one. And then Hal comes out and was horrendous last week against Buffalo. He was throwing picks everywhere.
Yeah, and Denver looks garbage. Like, you saw that the Dolphins just put 70 on them.
Yeah, Dolphins-Bills this week, man. That's a great game. It's a good slate this week.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the Bills because I want to see
Me too.
I want to see the Birds as the last undefeated team.
Yeah.
Right now it's just San Fran and the Dolphins that are on our way. So I want the Birds to have that power ranking number. It's just a number, but I'll be rooting for the Bills in that one. But you never know. The Dolphins and the Eagles could both be undefeated by the time we play them in a few weeks.
Sunday Night Football, man, too. That's going to be an awesome game.
Yep, another one that benefits us. It's in Philly.
In Philly, that's huge, man.
Gigantic. That they got to come up here. So, and that's going to be cool too. Tua versus Hurts, 2 guys that, were Bama quarterbacks. And
that's a great storyline, man. My mind didn't even go there. That's an awesome, he literally replaced them in the national championship game.
Exactly. So it's, it's Tua versus Hurts. And I think that they're still, I think they're friends to this day. So it's going to be an interesting story, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, they're the fastest. Tyreek Hill is unbelievable. He's the most impactful receiver in, I don't know how long, man. That dude's insane.
It's not even fair. And then you look at the other side of they have Jalen Waddle.
Waddle, he didn't even play last week either.
Didn't even play.
And you got the Mike McDaniels, who's great with all the motions. I mean, we mentioned the Niners before, but Kyle Shanahan's like the scariest guy on the Niners. You know what I mean? Like,
I was gonna say, a lot of what Mike McDaniels does kind of reminds me of Shanahan. Do a lot of motion, a lot of jet sweeps and stuff like that, and kind of reminds you of Shanahan, the way they run it.
It's just free yards, man. And I saw some highlights where, like, Tyreek Hill, you can't even jam him at the line because he's getting a running head start like the AFL because how they're running him in motion.
Yeah, they were saying they had a breakdown. I was like listening while I was working earlier, and they were saying if you can't get past that first window, the defensive line can't get to Tua. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a long
Yeah.
day. You know, you got to get to Tua and get past that offensive line. If you can't break that first window, it's going to be a long night.
That's how we're built, man.
Exactly. That's the good thing about us is we do have a fantastic defensive line. You know, knock on wood, we stay healthy, but you know, Jalen Carter looks fantastic. So we'll see. And he's only playing like 30% of the snaps. It's crazy.
Yeah. Survive in advance, man. Get him ready for December, January, man. He'll win Defensive Rookie of the Year in the meantime, too.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely. So that's the Birds. I think they have great ambitions. You know, they stay healthy, they can beat anybody. You know, we'll keep it real quick here, but you know, now Phillies, you know, we haven't obviously got into the playoffs yet. We're there, but the playoffs haven't started. You know, we've made the playoffs, clinched a spot. Red October. It looks like we're gonna have that top wild card spot too. Man, what are your thoughts there? Do you have any people, like any teams in mind that you would want the Phillies to play versus not to play in that first round?
I don't want to play Miami. I heard someone bring it up, but like the division, like the familiarity they have with us, I don't want that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bring on the Diamondbacks or the Cubs. The Cubs have been struggling. It looks like it's going to be the Diamondbacks. But yeah, someone brought that up, and I was like, that was a great point, man. Like, and we always suck against Miami, even when they're a bad team. We go to Miami, we lose 2 or 3. You know what I mean? I know we're at home, but yeah, avoid Miami.
Yeah. I would ideally love to play the Cubs. My brother was saying too. Arizona's pitching is lethal. They could literally that could be an issue too. I would love to play the Cubs, but it does look like we are going to play Arizona. In that first round, he said if it was his choice, no Miami, no Arizona, you know, play the Cubs. But I don't know if it's going to work out that way. That we're going to play the Cubs. It doesn't look that way, but you know, you got to play who you play. But I agree, you know, wouldn't want to play Miami either. Or, you know, I kind of don't want to play Arizona either, but, you know, you got to play who you play.
You got to play who you play, man.
The good thing is they have to come here. So that's, you know, Citizens Bank Park is going to be rocking. Last year it was crazy, you know, I don't think anybody thought Christian Javier was going to come in here and throw a no-hitter. I told my buddy who was going to that game, you know, I actually like Christian Javier. He's a fantastic pitcher. And I told him, I'm like, I didn't think he was going to throw a no-hitter, but I'm like, I'm telling you, you're sleeping on this guy. He's a beast. And he went into that game, and I didn't think he was, like I said, didn't think he was going to throw a no-hitter, but he's like, he was going to the game. He's like, oh man, we're going to smoke him and stuff. I'm like, this dude's another level. Went in there and just killed it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, to go in a crowd like that is just, it's tough, man. I don't know anybody that can really go into the Citizens Bank Park and do that. It's nuts.
Yeah, and if we win, we're most likely playing Atlanta, right?
Yeah, and I actually, to me, dude, like I am not really like I'd like to play Atlanta. Like we actually, I think, can beat Atlanta. I know Atlanta's had a fantastic season, but I think the Phillies can literally beat Atlanta.
They've had nothing to play for like a month.
Exactly.
Like, they've had nothing, man. And that's another bonus going into Arizona. May have the stud pitchers, but we get to set our lineup up. You know what I mean? We get to roll how we want to roll. I mean, not a lot of people have faith in Nola for game 2. God knows what Nola we're going to get, but we get to set our rotation up. You know what I mean? Headed into that series, which is huge. But yeah, like you said, Atlanta was literally, they're unbelievable. I saw Acuna had fucking 70 stolen bases. He stole 70 stolen bases. I know the rules have changed, but holy shit, that's insane.
Yeah, and then you look at what's his name? I always forget who's the number 1 batter over there. They got
Olsen.
They got Olsen's got 55 home runs or something like that. He's having
they lost Freddie Freeman, who killed us, and they bring in Olsen, who's literally unbelievable.
Yeah, their whole lineup, you know, they have studs like, and then Riley and stuff. They have studs like going right up like the first 5 batters. They crush it. But yeah, I think it's another thing. It's a familiarity thing. You know what I mean? I think that the Phillies could beat the Braves. The Braves were better than the Phillies last year too when they beat the Braves. They had Strider. They even beat Strider when he pitched last year. He had a fantastic year this year. But yeah, the Phillies, I feel like, again, like, you know, they got in, you know what I mean? I think that they got a lot of leaders in that locker room. You know, Bryce, the other night when they're out there celebrating, they asked Bryce, he's like, it's simple. You know, we just want to win a World Series. It's plain and simple. That's the goal. Nothing else matters. You know, we're enjoying it now, but we want a World Series. And these guys are, you know, most of these guys on the team, pretty much all of them, besides Trey Turner, have been here last year. You know, they got there. So they know, you know what I mean? They're
streaky, man. They're a streaky team. They're frustrating. They're streaky. You just got to get hot again, man. They got the guys, like you said. The leaders are there. The talent's obviously there. They're
Yeah,
streaky. Got to get hot, man.
Yeah, the only thing that concerns me is the bullpen. The bullpen is a little concerning. Alvarado looks like he's getting back to form, which is nice. Where Alvarado's been looking good. I do like Hoffman too. He's looked pretty good. Who else do we have? Kimbrel. Kimbrel looked great at one point.
Only as a closer, man. He only can do stuff in the ninth inning. You throw him in any other inning, he's in trouble. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sir Anthony, you might just have to chalk up the year. It's just one of those years.
Yeah, I don't think you plug Sir Anthony in at all, man. He just had a terrible year. I don't even know what happened. He just fell off completely. So I don't think unless you're like you have a gigantic lead, maybe you throw him. I don't even know, because it's just like they were saying it on Sports Radio. Do you even plug him in at any point? It's like he hasn't shown you anything that's anything positive, man.
You got to chalk it up.
Yeah.
He is what he is this year.
I agree. Doesn't mean he can't have a bounce back year next year, but
no, for sure.
But because we've seen good things from him in the past, but this year, just terrible year. So, and then my brother was saying we could be having Reese Hoskins as a pinch hitter.
I saw that. That's pretty wild, man.
Yeah, we plug him in as a pinch hitter. Obviously, we wouldn't start him, you know what I mean, because it would kind of mess up the chemistry. But you plug him in as a pinch hitter, he's got some power
and an emotional boost, man. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I said, they're streaky. You know what I mean? The clubhouse matters. Just getting them back in there, man. Extra juice for sure.
Exactly. So I'm excited, man. We got Phillies baseball in October. We got the Birds. They're kind of almost in a similar position last year, undefeated through this point of the year.
Exactly.
And then we also have, what was it last year? The Philadelphia Union too. I'm not sure how the Union are doing, but they almost won a championship last year too. So.
And Sixers, James Harden might not report to camp. Same old story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw Dame Lillard went to the Bucks, and that's going to be an absolutely unbelievable. They only had to give up Drew Holiday, and they kept almost everybody else. They still have Middleton, still have freaking Giannis, of course, and then you add Dame Lillard to freaking that team. It's just
and I saw we're interested in we're tied to Drew Holiday, obviously too. Lakers and us.
Yeah. Oh, I'd absolutely be all for it. We don't got to give up too much, man. He's a fantastic defensive player too, and can score.
Yeah, you keep Maxey, bring him in, but Harden's he's fucking us. It is what it is. Yeah. I saw him. I saw a picture, a screenshot. He was at, of course, a nightclub in Houston the other night, and one of the girls was holding a sign that says Daryl Morey is a liar. So he's all in on this, dude. He's not showing up. Who knows what he's gonna do? Fat Harden might show up. You know what I mean? Who knows?
Puts on the fat suit or whatever he has. He stuffs his clothes with it's freaking ridiculous, dude. I don't know, man. He's a drama queen. I knew that when he came here, how it was going to be. I'm like, yeah, it's great now, but it doesn't work out. Harden's just never won anything. So it's you don't ever know. And then, he had 2 great games in the Boston series last year, but it's just when it matters, game 6 and 7, nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found, man. The NBA, it's tough, man. He opts into his contract for $35 million because he knows no one else will pay him that, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'm not showing up. I'm not playing for these guys." It's dude, you just opted into your contract. You could have been a free agent and signed anywhere else, but you knew no one was giving you $30 million.
Exactly. And me and my buddies say this all the time. It's so different, football and basketball. Basketball is a players' league. They literally dictate the league to players. Whereas if you do that crap in football, you might never have a job again.
Jonathan Taylor. They're like, all right, sit down, dude. Show goes on.
It's never worked for any of those players. You see running backs do it before. Le'Veon Bell. It never worked. He wound up going to the Jets, and he got paid almost exactly what he didn't get paid around what he wanted. He got paid just a little bit more than what he was
missed out.
Paid.
He missed out on $15 million in his career.
Literally. So it's what was it for? Yeah, in the NFL, that crap does not work. You can't get away with doing that type of stuff. But in basketball, they dictate the league. I'm all for players getting their money, but also I think there has to be I don't know how you do it, but there has to be some type of there has to be a line, because it's players like Damian Lillard was saying, I'm not going anywhere but Miami, and they actually had to tell his camp they said they were going to find them.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. If they
dude, don't sign a supermax and then demand a trade 1 year. Don't sign the supermax. Obviously, you want your money. Everyone wants their money. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you shouldn't be able to just sit out and get paid your supermax until the team does what you ask them to do. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's one thing I will always say about Kevin Durant. I'm at least when Durant wants out, he'll play hard until he's out. Honestly, I've never always been the biggest Kevin Durant fan, but I will say I respect Kevin Durant that he'll continue to play. See a guy like Harden, he doesn't want to be here anymore, so he's just I'm done. I'm quitting.
Yep.
It's and then where's he going to go? Houston, the Clippers, where he was on that talk for a long time, but now
Houston doesn't want him. They got a young locker room. Why do you want James Harden coming over there? You know
exactly.
what
It doesn't make sense. If you're in a rebuild mode, you don't bring Harden in there.
I mean? No, he's at the club every night. He's not flying back with the team and stuff. Doc Rivers just talked about that on some podcasts. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was telling in the playoffs. He went all the way to freaking Vegas in between series.
I was like, I don't like
man?
LeBron off the court, but I was like, could you imagine LeBron James doing this in the middle of a playoff series? Like,
No,
what are you doing?
He would never. It's like, it's just, it's crazy. It's just, LeBron wouldn't even want to play with that, man. He'd be like, no. Like,
yeah, that was insane. That says it all right there, man.
Exactly. It shows where his focus is. Like, oh, won the first round. Whoop-de-doo. Like, I've done this a million times in my career. Never lost the first round. I'm going to go to the club to celebrate. Like,
yeah, no one's going to give a shit about the Sixers, man, for a long time this season. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, wake me up in the second round. That's how everyone feels.
That's how I am nowadays. I was even kind of like that last year. They kind of drew me in, though. The playoffs come around. I'm like,
yeah, Embiid wins the MVP. You know what I mean? Like,
draws you back in, and it's like they've done this to us so many times and just broken our hearts. It's like, I can't buy it. I can't buy you as a team until you're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's how everyone feels, man. They lost it.
It's a shame. And then the Flyers. It's like
we got 4 more years, 3 years to the Flyers.
Yeah, they got it. They got to literally they're in rebuild mode. Most people I know, they're season ticket holders. They're trying to sell tickets. Like, I've had people already approach me like, hey, you're trying to buy these tickets and stuff. It's like, because they know, like, they're not going to go to like hardly any of the games because it's like they just have season tickets, and it's like they're in rebuild mode. That's just how it is.
It looks like they're finally tearing it down the right way, though. You know what I mean?
I agree. I actually think they might be in a better spot than the Sixers. I'm going to be honest. Like, because we're stuff with the Sixers. It's the Sixers are in a terrible spot.
You can make that argument, man. At least Tobias and stuff is off the books next year, but Embiid's window is closing, man.
Exactly, and it's a shame. I absolutely love Embiid. It's like it's unfortunate. I really don't think he's ever going to win a championship here. It's just sad.
He needs a really good two. He can't win. Big men in themselves, I don't think, can win it in this league. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah,
we need someone at the end of the shot clock, at the end of the game, to have the ball, drive, and make something happen. And you see Embiid standing at the 3-point line, like it's tough for a big man to do that.
Exactly. My buddy actually said that too when we lost last year. He's like, you know what? My first thing is Embiid is staying here. We're not getting rid of Embiid. A lot of people say, "Oh, get rid of Embiid." No, you keep him here. But if you bring in a stud like two who comes in, he has to say, "Look, I know this is your team, but look, this offense is going to run through me. It has to, because big men. If the offense runs through a big man, the odds of him winning a championship, it just doesn't work out. Like, Jokic was like a very big outlier last year. Jokic was like, and even that, Jamal Murray runs a lot of the offense. You know what I mean? Over there in Denver. But there's a rare situation where Jokic won it.
He's a unicorn, dude. He's a one-of-a-generation player.
He can pass the ball phenomenally. That's not Embiid. That's not Embiid's game. You know what I mean? He can do it all, which it's exactly like you said, a unicorn. It just doesn't happen that often. But yeah, man, I really do. I think the Sixers are in a worse spot than the Flyers right now, unfortunately. This is the worst spot I think the Sixers have been in a while. At least with Ben, they were able to get Harden out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Ben. Will he play? Maybe he'll play this year for a little bit.
Yeah, did you hear the rumor he wanted to come? He said the only place he'd want to go is back to Philly.
Yeah, that dude.
Crazy.
He's a character, man.
Yeah, I'll never be back here. But yeah, man, we've gone for a minute here. So man, that was a great talk, man. We were able to talk some fitness, man, able to talk some sports. Let's just wrap up here with some closing comments. I'll link your handles and stuff so people can go check you out. Yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to like collaborating in the future, man. Yeah, if you have any like tips or anything for me, man, feel free to shoot them my way. If you need any help with like video editing and stuff like that, man, I'm here to help. Like we discussed at the beginning of the podcast with the intro and everything.
You don't want to commit to that. I got too many videos, man. I won't put you through that.
Yeah, I can always share tips though. You know what I mean? I can put like a little guide together or something for you, man. And then if you have questions, you can just reach out. But yeah, man, I just want to thank you again for coming on tonight.
Dude, I appreciate the platform, man. Shoot me your email address. I'll get you those workouts.
Absolutely, man. And guys, you can follow Frank. So you can follow him. You can follow him on his Facebook. It's literally his first and last name. And then you can follow him on Instagram too. It's FTJ or no FTV Fitness 92, right?
That's it. FTV Fitness 92. Website ftvfitness.com. That's got all my recipes, workouts, everything on there. Check that out. DM me to get the work.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. We'll definitely have you on, sometime in the future too, man. We'll reach out and maybe when like summer's kind of coming, people get ready for that summer shred or something like that. You know what I mean? We'll bring you back on and we'll collab again.
Sounds good, Steve. This is awesome, man.
Awesome, man. Yeah, well, thanks again, man. And we'll definitely, my buddy Mario said, very informative sugar. Good job, guys. Thanks, Mario. Appreciate you, man. Marius. But yeah, man, have a great night, man. Go Birds, go Phils, and let's get to work.
Let's fucking go. See you, Steve.
Take care, man. Peace.